I'd like to take the opportunity to in-service you on the PureGraft direct harvest system with use of the PureGraft 250 filter system. It's super simple. 3 parts to the setup stand on the direct harvest system. There's a canister, there's an easel, and there's a base. To assemble, we just slide the easel into the base. It clicks in like that. Next step, hook the canister to the back of the easel. And now what we need to do is engage the PureGraft 250 filter. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to take our lid to the direct harvest system, and we're going to take this 250 piece that's designed specifically for the 250 filter, and we're going to add that to the top. And the way we do that, we just push it in like so. You can see where I just pushed that in, and the other side, this little piece comes out through the top, and all I need to do is lock that in place. Next thing what we'll do is we'll take the 250 filter, and the first thing I want to do is I want to hook this yellow/gold port right here onto the tissue port. And we're just going to place that like so. This frees up this hole in the filter to hook to this one hanging tine there, and then we also have another tine on this side to hook on the other side of the 250 filter. So the 250 filter is hanging like so, and what we're going to do is we're going to fold this forward onto the writing and insert it into the top of the canister. Once it's in the canister, you are ready to go. And you can see it right here. We have the vac port for the vacuum and suction. We have the patient port for the part that goes onto the patient, and this is sitting perfectly in the canister, ready to harvest. So I'd like to talk to you about the next step in the process of using the 250 filter. You've now harvested your fat, and we want to show you how to get that fat out of the filter, get it washed, and prepared for re-injection back into the patient. So the first step we do is we want to remove the lid that's on top of the canister. And when we do that, it'll be connected in 3 locations. You'll see that it has the 2 hanging parts and the gold connector here that connects where the fat comes out and goes into the filter. So we can easily remove these, and then the gold port removes, and we just want to set this aside, but we also want to just keep this in the canister until we hook up the drain bag. And the drain bag is designed to hook right onto the only port available. And if you look really close, it's upside down. It actually says drain here. So we'll point to that. And once this is connected, the other 2 ports are self-sealing. So we don't have to worry about fat spilling out. But if we don't connect the drain bag before we pull it out, there's a chance that we could lose some fat. So the next step is to lift this out of the canister. And we can actually move the canister. It's not going to be used anymore. And there's a tine sticking on the top of the middle of the easel. On the filter, there's 1 hole, and that's exactly where this needs to go. It's right on that tine right there. And then let the filter hang from the easel. And since the drain bag's hooked up and we have the drain bag port open, is any fluid that's undesirable will start to flow from the filter into the drain bag. Now you can leave it on the table here. Most people drop it on the ground to use the effect of gravity a little bit better. And that's how we get the first drain. There's going to be 3 drain incidences that we'll have when we use our filter system. So once this is drained, probably a minute or 2, it'll stop flowing. It starts flowing really quick and then all of a sudden it goes slower. Once that happens, we need to click this close. And we're going to go into the 2 wash steps. And the 2 wash steps is we'll need a bag of lactated ringers, probably 1 liter. And then we'll need our, whatever tubing you have, it could be the tumescent tubing, as long as you flush it out. And we're gonna reinsert the tubing into the lactated ringers bag. And we're gonna hook up the other end to the wash port. And this is the wash port. And the wash port is self-sealing and it's also blue. So you'll see that. And that's where we hook up this Lure-Lock connector. And once this is all connected, we can actually run in this tubing here, run this tubing through your pump, your peristaltic pump, to pump the lactated ringers from the lactated ringers bag into the filter, the 250 filter. Now the volume that you pump into, of lactated ringers that you pump into, is roughly 50% of the volume indicated in the filter. So roughly if it's right at the 250 mark right here, is you want to put in about 125. That's what we're going to put in, about 125 when we'll fill this up. If it's a little bit higher, then our 50% mark goes a little bit higher. And once this is pumped in there, of course we need to make sure that this is open for the pump, and then we'll lock it once we've reached our level of fill. And we're going to go to the next step of this wash step, and we're going to massage. We're going to massage the fat that's in our filter. The whole 250 is a filter, so you can lift this up, you can massage it. Not more than a minute is what is needed. Once that's done, our next step is to drain off a lot of this lactated ringers mixed with the fluids like blood and stuff. We're going to open the drain bag port one more time. That's our second drain. Drain this out. You can also use our squeegee, our metal squeegee, to push down some of the fluid to help enhance the drain capability, and you can go up or down. It also takes a lot of the fat off the upper filter so we don't lose it. So once this is drained, again, it slows down, and once it slows down, it gets non-existent of draining. We can clip off the drain again. We're going to open the smart tubing that's going to put the lactated ringers back into the filter. And again, we're going to go to 50%. We're going to pump it in. That's the easy way. You can manually use gravity to use it. You can use pressure sleeves and stuff like that. That works as well. But in this case, we're going to pump it into the filter, about 50% of what you see. And once that's done, we stop the pump, close that off. We go to our next step, which is the massage phase again. And once we massage and mix this up, that's our last phase. Usually the fat turns golden yellow. I think you'll see that. And once we decide that we mixed it up enough, is we're going to do our last drain. So 3 drains, 2 washes. You can do 1 wash, you can do 3 washes. It's really your call on what the fat looks like. And this will keep it draining and draining. Again, we can use the squeegee, we can push up, we can push down. And the idea is that we're not only helping the fluid to egress through the filter into the drain bag that we don't want, but keep the fat left in the filter. Once we feel that this is stopped draining and we're done with it, we can go to the next phase of this second stage, is to actually remove the fat for reinjection. The best way to do that is to use a catheter tip syringe. And the catheter tip syringe is a little bit different than a Toomey. It's the longer version. And the reason why we use this is it fits into the gold tissue port. Let's see, it says tissue right there. Fits into the gold tissue port better than a Toomey. And when we insert this in here, we have the ability to disrupt that self-sealing mechanism there and extract our purified fat. Up to 50 cc's on this 50 ml, 50 cc syringe. Once I'm done, what I want to do is I need to put this into a syringe that is what I want to reinject back into the patient. In our packaging are disposable adapters. They work great. They're reusable, German engineered adapter. Actually works a little bit better. And the reason why it works better, it's a better seal, it's easier to hold, and it's more durable. So that's why we use that. So once we put that on the top of the catheter tip syringe, we're going to choose the reinjection syringe of our preference. In this case, I'm going to choose a 20 cc syringe. That's what I'm going to use for this example. We attach it to the lower lock connection that's at the tip of the adapter. And if we do this vertically on the back table, which is better than the Mayo in general, is we can actually use this leverage and then fill up our syringes faster. So there's one syringe, we can set it aside or hand it off to the surgeon for reinjection, and we continue this process until all our fat is used up. And once our fat is used up, that is the end of the procedure.